Let me tell y'all something in this room. When I opened this space, this title do not say indigenous. Shout out to the Native Americans who came through, all three of them. I think we did a good job, basically, and with that conversation. But my intentions was not to have an indigenous Native American space. It was on the prompt. When I opened my chat, my live stream, the man popped up and he wanted to talk about his heritage and stuff. And then I guess the other Native Americans came. And then I guess certain people saw Native Americans up here and people wanted to come. You know what I mean? So just to let everybody know, that's what the space was not about that, but it turned into that. And that happens sometime. And I would appreciate if when that happened, whether it's white people, maybe even if they some triple K members, we all can handle ourselves and have a conversation with these people. That's what my intentions are on holding spaces, to have have a conversation. I don't give a shit who they are. You know what I mean? So if y'all want to continue to talk about the indigenous stuff, that's fine, or we can start on the prompt. It's up to y'all.
I definitely wanted to ask a question. Shout out to you also for having such a phenomenal live. But I definitely wanted to kind of ask a question on the previous topic though.
Go ahead. I mean, the Native Americans gone. It's just us, but we can talk about it.
Yeah, I guess, for me, I'm FBA. And I consider myself just a regular black person, meaning, and I don't say that to be funny, and then I just feel like I'm just a regular black person. Both parents, been in this country the whole time, all the way back to the 1700s, and I don't understand why there's so many black people, I guess wanting to claim Indian, and you got some of them that's claiming that slavery never happened, and I'm just kind of like confused as to what is I guess why is there a need to do that? That's what I'm confused on. And maybe somebody who I guess claims indigenous, or anything in that realm. Most of the people who claim indigenous typically kind of have a more logical stance on it, but then some of them claim to be Indian, and then they claim that that slavery never happened, and then
okay. So what's your point? The bottom line to your point, Byron, is why they claiming why they want to be Indians. And I guess looking at my prompt, FBA's versus everybody who's next, I guess the Native Americans was next. Now that I think about it.
Facts.
Can I answer?
Yeah, go ahead, the black.
I think it's more like the sister ex Pretty just said. A lot of people in the South, like, we always had a sentiment of knowing that we had Native American in our family, and it's been suppressed. Like, be in Texas, my granny always used to tell me that people who try to identify as Native, know what I'm saying, they get strange fruited or that come up missing, and we've never been able to actually just claim that. That's why it's always been somewhat like a running joke within the black community that, oh, you got good hair, you must got Indian in your family. So, and then when it comes down to the slave trade, people are not denying that it happened. It's just the storyline that's been given to us, that didn't happen. The amount of slaves that they claim came over, we all know that majority of them went to Brazil and the Caribbean, and only a small amount came over. And then slowly, as we get more evidence, the numbers are dwindling. And we know that it was a Native American slave trade here, right along with the so-called African slave trade. So that's why it's convoluted, and American history is very nuanced and very mixed, because we had a whole lot of people here and an influx of different people here. And before the Civil War, before the Civil WAR, they all were mixing, and that's why you got people have different narratives of their own family lineage, and that's good, because we need to get out of the group story and start embracing our actual family trees as individuals, and then bring it together because we all have a shared history in America.
Yeah, I get that piece. I get that we do have mix. I get that, I completely understand. Matter of fact, I think that is
Hey, Tim,
100% true.
here,
You
I'm
know,
gonna give you 1 minute. Then we gonna get to FBA because he been sitting up here the whole time and he haven't had the chance. Go ahead, Byron.
yeah,
Do your
I'll be quick. Yeah, so I 100% agree with that premise that we do have a lot of mixture. I guess where I get confused is when people try to twist history or twist well documented facts into something new to fit a new narrative that slavery never existed and that, all of these kind of things that are kind of counter narrative to reparations claims and different things of that nature. And I've been seeing this movement of slavery never existed continue to grow. And I'm just like, yo, like slavery is well documented. So that's the piece where I think it gets a little convoluted for me.
FBA. You got something to say? You want to say something, or you just chilling? FBA, FBA Illinois, FBA Illinois. I don't think he here. FBA Illinois.
He might be
Okay.
gone.
All right. Go
Yeah,
ahead, George.
I understand it's
Yeah. So,
convoluted. You can go, Sage.
well, yeah, I'll make it quick. So I'll say this, right? And when it comes to the indigenous thing, really, that's something that's been going on in our community forever. And as Black Americans are really starting to look around, they see a lot of other people in these tribes and wonder why they can't get in these tribes. They start doing the research on their history, right? And it is unfair. So I think there's a lot of people that's looking at it from that position, and also there's people that's looking at it from reclaiming their ancestry position, because Black Americans are very serious when it comes to their lineage and their ancestry. You know what I mean? For some people it's a mystery, for some people it's something that's always been known. So there's things that needs to be accomplished to kind of satisfy their ancestors, right? So it's many different layers to the indigenous paradigm. But I will say this: you have to be aware of obstructionists and distractors, right? Because when it comes to FBA, it's really spawned out of the reparations movement, the necessity for Black Americans to find reparative justice, and and an easy way to distract Black Americans is to start talking about origin stories, right? But FBA, ADOS, all that, the origin of the identity and the reason behind the identity is based with a specific group of people that face chattel slavery, Jim Crow, Red Line, all the ongoing harms. So you will find people that is indigenous that are obstructionists. You will find people who are Pan-Africans that are obstructionists. And the whole point is to distract us. You just have to cut them off.
Okay.
Nah, that makes sense.
Hold on. Let me see if he's still in the chat. X Pretty. Thank you for coming up. I'm gonna rotate
Okay.
the page.
And one thing I want to say, nobody never said that slavery never happened. The Black Indians got enslaved as well as the Africans. Why you think the YT man enslaved both? Because our people trying to protect the Africans, and there was intermixing, and slavery did happen. But at least that's why I backed off FBA, because it's mostly talk. But one thing about me, at least I got off my ass and fought for what's right for our reparations, our culture, our history, from the reclassification. So I'm trying to understand. It's always talk with FBA, but nobody never make a move. So at least I'm one out of 100 that actually went to a courthouse and studied and fought and asked my chief to help me. That's all I want to
Okay.
say. You can drop me.
Actually, you can slow down. You don't have to go anywhere. Go ahead and finish your sentence.
No, you can drive me because I hate this. That's why I stopped fooling with FBA, because it's a lot of talk.
Hold on, sis. HATE. I love TikTok shop. Let me tell you something, X Pretty. Everybody don't claim to be FBA. Some people just claim to be African American, Black American, Indigenous, so on. They claim to be different things. So, and we're not a monolith. every FBA don't think alike. So just keep that in mind too. I don't know, obviously it seemed like something happened. I don't know what that is, but I just want you to know, you know what I mean? We're not a monolith, okay? So HATE, I hate that you have to, HATE, that you have to, put FBA and those four letters together as well. I hope, one day, your mind can be changed on what type of people, FBA is, because we are not the same, okay? But I'll drop you down.
I know
Yeah.
that my grandmother
Okay.
was pro-black in the 70s, and we was all raised like this. Know your history. We always had our family reunions every year. We had to hear the stories, hear about how certain aunties was able to pass, certain aunties couldn't pass. And as long as you had that long, pretty hair and you had that nappy hair, that's why I say all this is important. The family reunions will always tell the stories. It's important to keep doing your family reunions. And today, social media has stopped, and nobody want to do family reunions no more. That's
But
why I
people
said.
are doing work. It's FBA.
Yeah, but
People
you can
who
drive
go
me like every FBA not the same. Like I said,
right.
I'm just happy that when I did join FBA, I was one of those people that was admired and I actually fought and went to the courthouse and studied and had my grandmother and saw the birth certificate. My mama's birth certificate saying colored
So
and mine said African
you do
American.
claim FBA?
Yeah, I joined FBA at first, and I'm like, all they do is talking for us, and we will have conversations like these. You'll have FBA saying, "Well, I'm full African." I'm like, "Sir, you from deep down south? Don't you know this is one of the oldest parts of the land? You have native blood ancestry inside of you. People so used of
But
Indians
you
on
can't
TV."
join FBA. It's just a lineage. But I understand what you meant when you
Yes, but you
said
understand where I'm
that.
coming from. But you can drive me. I just told people, power to the people, keep fighting and getting this information out. Because right now, what they're doing. Foreigners are now able to try to replace the Black Americans. History does repeat itself. A Jamaican can now claim, an African from Congo can now claim African American. That's why they reclassified us as African Americans. They're trying to get rid of us. So it's important to keep pushing this history. We have to declassify ourselves out of that term and get back to Native Black American or Indigenous or foundational or original Black American. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're trying to get rid of us. History is repeating itself. This is very important. And please pay attention to the statistics. They are also these Siberians and Asian Native American tribe members. Trump is now deporting a lot of them because they have to keep paying for those applications every year. And that's another big conversation, So we are getting our power back some. I just keep telling people, keep pushing this information out. It's important because we all have children. We want our children's futures to get, deleted. All right. Thank you for having me up.
You're welcome. You can come back anytime.
All right.
Can I just say